Hello and welcome everybody, this is ChillTyme, and in this video I'll be doing a review of a game that you probably have not heard of. And that game is Battle Royale Tycoon. This is a game that I wished existed for quite a while because the way in which the gaming industry was being flooded with VR games hoping to make it big, like Fortnite or PUBG, it really seemed like they were being churned out of a Tycoon game. And needless to say, none of these knockoff BRs or BR-fied games, whatever you might want to call it, really took off. But that imaginary Tycoon game that they were being made in, I really wanted to play that game, as a Tycoon game of course, like a tuber simulator or software but for VR games, you get the point. However, I did not imagine a game like this when I was thinking about it. BR Tycoon is a 2D top-down park builder, a park where most of your customers go to willingly experience death. And no, I'm not talking about a graveyard here, just to be clear. When you first load the game, you're greeted with an easy-to-follow advisor which serves as the tutorial as you try out all the basic functionalities the game has to offer. But the game is simple enough that you can safely skip that if you have any experience with the Tycoon game in the past. You are given a small park and a set of objectives to complete, and those objectives are part of the tutorial as it goes on, so there really is no point to doing it as far as I'm considered. I'm talking about the tutorial, of course. The UI is quite simple and has one of those window management styles to it, which is nice and convenient, but if you're not used to closing windows when you don't need them anymore, this could become a cluttered mess quite easily. The colors and characters remind me a lot of Prison Architect or Rimworld, but this game is by no means that deep, and we'll get to that in a second here. There's also this time control feature, so you can speed things up or slow down if you want with 3 levels to it. I like playing it on normal or 2 times the speed, and there's a reason for it, which I'll come to it later in the video. So we have it here, a big park with multiple BR arenas and shooting ranges in it. Guests automatically pour in like they're waiting on the gates, just wanting to get in and kill each other over and over. Once you have enough money, you're able to make other stuff in your park, and not just BR and shooting stuff that your guests need, like food and drinks and bathrooms. So you can place a fast food shop and a drink shop, which I don't know why they have to be separate, to be honest. Being the fat ass that I am, I think the fast food restaurant should not be this small. I should be able to make it as big as I want, but nonetheless, that's all the qualms that I have with it, I would say, at least so far. Apart from the usual needs, you also have the guest happiness, another common park Tycoon feature, which is affected by a bunch of things, but the biggest of those things is beauty and decor of the park itself. Also, surprisingly, they get pissed off by big ass waiting queues, something that could be solved with a fucking big ass restaurant or something like that, you know what I mean, with like 5 workers and everything. Also, something affecting their mood and happiness is their preferences and how well your park is suited to those. Now this doesn't go too deep on that. There's some very basic preferences like gun types and types of ranges. Basically the things to motivate you to make those things if you happen to check on your guests, and that's it. You can check on your guests' preferences by clicking on each guest individually, which is going to be impossible. There's no proper visual indicators on each guest about what exactly is making them happy or unhappy. There are charts and stuff that you can look at and group thoughts, but they're absolutely broken. Other charts are alright, but way too dank. I mean basic. So don't provide a lot of insight. It's like there's information there, sure, but it's not very insightful and doesn't make you manage things well, like cutting costs and such in specific areas. By that, what I mean is, I want to be able to choose what to supply in my food kiosk and how much does each sandwich cost and what kind of targets cost, what kind of money, and that is somehow tied to guest happiness, so I have to balance it all out, you know, the usual Tycoon stuff. But there's none of that. Coming to beauty and decor, which I mentioned before as a factor in guest happiness and boredom levels, this system is also entirely broken, as nothing in the decor costs anything. I'm not sure whether the developer has done this intentionally or those dudes just forgot to put a price on these things, but I can just spam fill the park with any of these decor elements and I somehow end up with a beautiful park. Ta-da! Like, I can just spam lamps all over the park and nothing else but lamps or any of these decor items, and boom, there you go, one beautiful park ready for delivery, sir. Now let's talk about in-game humans. Apart from the guests, there are other people in the park too, which from the looks of it are just robots really. I am of course talking about the workers. The reason I said those are just robots is because you can just buy heaps of them. There's nothing special about them, but they just work. Like, what am I, running a sweatshop in some third world country? Like, what's going on here? In almost every other Tycoon game that I've played, or a similar game where you have workers, those workers have special abilities, and some even have special needs, if you know what I mean. But really, there are qualities that they should have and needs, or at the very basic level, have some rising costs or something. You don't need to make them too advanced so that they actually start demanding rights. I mean, just basic shush money level shit, I don't know. Talking about workers, they're split between being just the may I help you folk at the buildings, servers at food kiosks or drink kiosks, workshop workers, and researchers. Also, by the way, did I tell you that these are not different class of workers? This is just where you'll find your workers working. They're from the same chunk of robots. Yes, even the researchers. I tried to put a worker to the bathroom and there's no option to do that. I mean, all the BR parks that mommy used to take me to always had some creepy janitor in the bathroom. Without him, this is just incomplete, you know? What the fuck? Also, speaking of researchers, you can spam as many research laboratories as you want. There's no limit, and you can just complete all the research in the world, at least in the game, in about 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. And now you know exactly why I call those workers robots. If you are like me, and if you figured out these quote-unquote exploits as soon as you start the game, then congratulations! This is where the game begins and ends. Remember at the start when I said that I like to keep the speed at 1x or max 2x? Yeah? That was because if I sped it up to 3x and played this game, I'd be done with all that there is needed to be done in about half an hour max. And I really am not exaggerating when I say that, because everything is right there. There's not much more to explore or unlock. Yes, there's objectives that the game tells you to complete, but they just feel blank and just for the sake of it. You don't get anything for doing those objectives. No upgrades, no special things that can be unlocked after doing those. Nothing like that, not a zilch. Maybe I'm being a little bit too cynical right now. Maybe I've gone too hard at it. But even if I play this game as the game wants me to play it, like a nice little teacher-sped schoolboy, even then, it doesn't take too long before you get to the point and it still feels like a drag after seeing everything from before. You can see all the weapons that you can upgrade to, all the buildings that you can make, get the maximum park size and everything else in between. Oh, and did I mention you can spam as many laboratories as you want and finish all the research in literal 5 minutes? So here we have it. BR Tycoon in its present state. But hey, there's a big but here. This game is really early in its development, and I do want to keep an eye on it and see how the game progresses, because I believe that it has potential to develop into a good Tycoon game. It seems like it has an idea about what it wants to accomplish, but doesn't know how to go about it, and you can see all that in the bare bones mechanics of a Tycoon game in place. All it needs is some delicious marrow to fill those bones up. Yikes! At the time of making this video, this game is just about a month old, so take what I say here with a bag of chips. But at present, at $10 at the Steam store, I don't think you should buy it just yet. Maybe wait for the sale in a little bit. Although, if you want to support the developers, then go right ahead, buy it, play it, and let them know what you thought about it. That's it for me for this video. This has been ChillTyme. Please like this video and subscribe. I have more videos planned for the future for the channel that should be coming out soon. Some weird games, a little bit of analysis about some heated topics in the gaming world right now, and stuff like that as we go along. Please follow my Twitch channel. I play all sorts of games there that I have right now. My channel is going to be at twitch.tv/ChillTyme. The link for that will be in the description. I'm trying to get to 500 followers, so you throwing a follow at me will help me out a lot. The links for my Discord and Twitter will also be in the description if you want to follow or join my Discord. I usually hang out in there in case you want to reach out or something. If you have made it this far, thanks for watching, and I really appreciate it. Peace out.